No, trust me, right now in a lobby like this, they're going quick. And I will say this duo of Daedra and M11Z, if they can make it to late game with the assault rifles they have a legendary assault rifle, Dr. Lupo, and an epic infantry rifle. Both of those can shred. And as we know, editing out windows, finding opponents who are rotating, maybe hitting a slipstream or in shadow form. Some well-timed AR shots can mean quick damage and eliminations.
We're going to have to see going into the late game if this aggressive gameplay continues. 30 seconds until the circle. Meanwhile, over at Neo Tilted, we've seen this 2v2 so many times. Clix and Skeptic versus Mongrel and Mitro. The high ground taken all the way up top. Pressure from above. Clix looking to see if he can hit a shot through his quick edit. 103 from Mongrel from underneath. Going to edit out and try and take the high ground. At this point, no shield on Clix inside the box. Trying to get the edit. Can't quite get it just yet. Here we go, opting to maybe fake a rotation away. Maybe using the shadow to climb all the way up the high ground. Can't quite get it. He's going to have to jump all the way to the bottom to get back out of the fight. Hits from underneath. He's going to box up just a little bit and rotate for a better angle at this point. Meanwhile, Mitro in the baller, bottom of the building. They're paired up together at this point. Mongrel actually, oh, they're shifted buildings away from each other. And Clix and Skeptic have the ultimate high ground from above on this fight. Beaming that baller. Can't quite see if they got the break just yet. But separated, Mongrel and Mitro not going to be as effective as Clix and Skeptic when it comes to solo, just applying pressure to a single target. And that's so important because if you can get a shield break or even a knock because you've shot the same target, like you've beamed them down, you push your shots through their builds to try and counter it, it's so much easier when you're standing on top of each other. That might be pivotal in deciding who wins the current 2v2.
Yeah, and they're going to go ahead and back that up. I will say Skeptic basically saves Clix right there, who was down to just 28 HP. Skeptic's able to get there in time. They get the minis popped as well. Landjock and Punisher, who had some early exits in some games. At the beginning of today, looking to see if they can end on a high note right now. One chunk splash used to get up to 157 HP. Landjock with the elimination down on to Lanane as they continue to bust on through. 2 versus 1. They get the full elimination. Chug Splash unfortunately missed right there as he was shockwaved away, but hit to help us both.
Drop in, fighting the same box. Tyler 15 goes down. That kind of 2v1 is tough. You're stuck inside the box with both opponents. There's kind of no way out, especially when some of the walls may not even necessarily be yours.
And Clix and Skeptic run away from Tilted to not have to deal with a fight there, but instead push right into XXM and X-Men. Now the fight begins. Skeptic dropping on back, trying to dodge the stings. Clix getting a ton of damage right there as well. And did they just get an elimination? So the player was knocked. Right, the player was knocked, and the elimination was actually finished by the airstrike coming on through. Clix does get knocked by the stink. We hopped away from that at an unfortunate time, but we do get an update there as Skeptic now at 150 HP eats the stink grenade to the face again, and with only 2 builds left, Clix now knocked, and nades flying on in. Oh, the 150! The 150 makes the difference! Can Skeptic clutch right now? You see the panic stink, he actually stinks himself right there. Skeptic with no builds, relying on just this hand cannon. Can they get the full elimination with the extra HP? It looks like they'll decide to fall back and eliminate Clix right now. Skeptic looking to try to cut down this player. They have knocked. How many mats will he get? Looks like 12 total builds. Might be a difference maker in this one. Through, wall in place, not going to happen as of yet. Tries to make a shot.
Oh my gosh! The clutch from Skeptic.
And you see he shakes his head right there. Does get the job done. The one-shot headshot from the hand cannon. 150 to the dome. Swings the battle in his favor. No mats, no teammate, no problem as Skeptic gets the job done.
I said it before and I'll say it again. He's one of the most confident players that we have seen in the World Cup, and right there, literally standing in the open to bait a shot so he can hit that 150 with a hand cannon is huge.
He knew he needed to do something to swing the tide of that battle. It's literally nearly impossible to win with 0 mats and they have the high ground. And guess what? As the player went down thirst, his teammate, well, things worked in his favor as he hits the shot. Saf N8, who had a 3-point lead on second place heading to this game. Currently at 0 points earned so far, but still in a position where they can earn a lot off placement and finish strong. to be crowned world champions goes their way. It's one heavy sniper, 4 shadow bombs. You see in the inventory of Sap, launch pad too. So a lot of items to use in the late game, Dr. Lupo.
Another player flying in, Wishy DP. Gustavox 8. Duo landing below, Stompy, Shinken, a duo that I want to have my eyes on quite a bit. We see a quick little edit fight here through the wall, and they pick off Zexro and Vinny inside their own build.
Zexro and Vinny, I believe, were top 3 or top 5 heading into this game, so an unfortunate ending for them. And all things considered, you know, Stompy and Chinkin were a duo with an average placing in the online qualifiers of 1.8 across the 5 weeks.
I think it was the highest average of any duo.
And we haven't really seen much of them today, so finally seen a little bit from that duo, as many people had very high expectations. Chapix running away right now, nearby as well.
Back, applying some pressure there to a ramp being built up. Chapix, all by himself between 2 duos here, Dubs and Mega. The heavy snipe to drop Dubs down. He's gonna have to build back just a little bit, reconnect, and make sure your structures are held up by more than just one there, and somebody's got their eye on Dubs still. Gonna jump inside a pyramid, hold that edit. Mega sitting up on top of the windmill ball. Just kind of waiting at this point. They're just barely, you saw for just a second.
Yeah.
67 damage threshold.
But look, because the player threshold and this speed has dropped quicker, Storm Shield pops up. One player gets eliminated to drop the lobby down to 69, and immediately the storm threat is over. So Storm Surge pops up for a second, but the Storm Surge shuts down on this second zone when the player count drops below 70. So only one player had to go down. That's exactly what happens. So the players below the damage threshold right there do just escape for the moment, as the threat is gone for right now.
1 minute remaining till the next circle. The final match for the duos competition here at the Fortnite World Cup. Still anybody's game. Like you said, $15 million on the line, and Saf and Zate are really pushing for that first place position. Applying pressure from above, gonna drop down. Just a little bit of damage, but not the best spot to sit and try and fight that. Saf's gonna back up top and use that final mini, 149 total HP. And I was literally about to say, can still go down to a heavy snipe to the body, and that may be exactly what happened. Luckily, at that range, Zate can still pick Saf up. Less pressure comes in from that duo that just took that shot.
They just get updated that Mitro was just eliminated. But remember, folks, this is Zate and Saf on your screen, who are our current leaders today. Saf knocked. It looks like Zate's going to try to go for the revive, and no one's nearby. Talk about a perfect scenario for them to be able to get a revive in. That could have spelled disaster. But up off the ground goes Saf, and they can breathe a sigh of relief as they're both back in play.
Looks like the players that took the shot sitting at that modern building at Loot Lake, the north side there, still inside the safe zone. Meanwhile, the spread of all these players starting to tighten up just a little bit. Mongrel, one of the most popular EU players, all on his own right now. Mongrel, Mitro, 10 points behind first, 2 points behind fifth overall going into this match. They are so close to the top of the leaderboard, Jack. Saf and Zate, by the way, first going to this match.
Continue to keep watching exactly where the players stack up. Mongrel, all the pressure on him. If there's one thing you can see, legendary rocket launcher. The way Mongrel makes the most incredible performance is if he can somehow get high ground late game and use the X rocket to fire down shots and give an A6 tag right away with that legendary infantry rifle.
Sees the build down at the bottom, looking just to take any shot he can, any damage he can deal. With eliminations, even just 1 or 2, maybe Peace is lucky, and Rush flying in. Right side here, just a second. Meanwhile, Aqua and Nyrox, the back-to-back winners, looking to pick up their third duo victory royale here in a second. Catches an opponent inside the same box. The duo looks to follow through, take the wall, the shots through, and the back-to-back healing may happen. Still applying pressure, and there it is.
And you see the excitement right there. Every point they get is an opportunity to make this comeback happen and a potential win for the European region. I just saw Chinkin go down the elimination feed, and they've got chunk splashes galore. Still get back up to full health, and still scrappy game right now for Zayt and Saf. 0 points on the board, and they are nowhere close to earning placement points at this one.
A minute remaining before the next storm. They're going to have to position themselves to move. Before too long, pressure is going to happen on the rotation. You're going to see players in positions to take advantage of people moving in from the outside of the storm. When we get to circle 5 to 6, when the half and half happens, that's kind of when everything gets a little crazy, right?
Yeah.
The elimination feed is full of players getting knocked and finished by the storm. Potentially, you have duos going down at that point, but right now, Saf and Zayt biding their time. They don't want to burn too many materials this early. 60 possible builds in Saf's inventory, 50 in Zayt's. Don't have to move just yet.
Reminder for everyone watching at home, this is our final game today. At the end of this, the score will be tallied, and we will crown our first ever Fortnite World Cup champions, our Fortnite World Champions, live from the Arthur Ashe Tennis Stadium here in New York City. Stay involved in the conversation. Use that hashtag Fortnite World Cup before, well, everything goes insane in these next few moments. The fourth zone has popped on up. 56 players left, 34 duos. Who will take the final victory royale?
Now, Rojo and Wolfies all the way up top, on top of the hill here. They do have at least one baller. They have an opportunity to move. Looks like Rojo's going to make that move. Wolfie's just kind of waiting, biding his time, maybe looking to take a shot at somebody. Baiting your teammate, not the worst idea. Rojo's going to move down to this little camp underneath, this tiny little shack, and farm up everything that he can. Materials, like we've said before, we'll say it again. You always see late games where it comes down to potentially who does and does not have those remaining. So getting those couple materials can be key. Wolfies, you heard the snipe shot there. Looks like nobody got connected with it. Still waiting above 107 builds in that inventory. Mega and Dubs down underneath. Literally right next door. Bell, Mongrel, across the street, 4ZR and nowhere. Saf and Zayt. So many players bunched up in the same structures right now. This might be the time for players like Mega and Dubs to take shots through. That's why they're editing the windows. They're looking for players rotating or even getting pressured from others that may be around them to shoot in on the same surfaces, see if they can pick up those eaters.
Remember, Dubs and Mega currently top 5 in this tournament. Still looking to be able to break on through, to make some noise. The battle for first continues. The top 5 duos still all in play. Storm Surge did just pop up, but it's only for the top 50 players right now. So 2 more players need to drop, and Storm Surge will be over.
Just a quick note, I saw in the feed a moment ago, Nyrox, one of the back-to-back duo winners, picked up an elimination on Skeptic in the feed.
Dude, this is so close.
Tough day for them, but yes, 31 duos. More hang on 4 total right now, which is huge for them.
They're already in the next zone. They're on the high ground. They've got 5 shadow bombs, near max materials, 4 shockwave grenades, already 4 limbs. Ben, they could somehow do this. They actually are in an incredible position to win another game, and there they just eliminated Ronaldo. The 5th elimination for Nyrox and Aqua. They've already got another player down to just HP too.
At this point, imagine 3 victory royales in a row for this duo would be absolutely definitive that this is one of the best, if not the best duo in Fortnite right now.
This is insanely intense right now. So much on the line for these players. They're boxed on up. Keep in mind, the average age of the players here today, 16, and what is that update?
That's
Nyrox and Aqua.
Jackets 1 point between first and second.
1 point away from first, but there, Zayt gets an elim. Now 2 points away again. Saf with an elim as well.
It was the same player. It was the knock.
Okay, they were the knocking him. Okay, but either way, within a couple points of first, on the top left, team in second. On the bottom right, the team in first. Who will become the first ever Fortnite World Champions?
Go rotation occurring. Mongrel in the feed, picking up the
Dubs.
Dubs.
He just knocked out. He just eliminated Dubs.
Saf and Zay waiting on the bottom. Only 1 elim, but it doesn't really matter at this point. They just need to focus on positioning and catching players on rotation. Funk at the top of your screen. Tons of players bunched up near each other. Mongrel, and it just, he shots the rocket out. See if pressure can happen there. And Mongrel may be able to pick up an elim soon. An RPG late game in competitive Fortnite. Super, super advantageous, especially if you have players that are on move. hit a shot just in front of him. He's going for these quick edits. Mongrel's looking for any chance he can get to take shots at players that do not know that he's there.
And remember, earlier in today's competition, it was Mitro who winds up living all the way to the end by himself and getting 5 extra elims, which put them into the top 3 after just game number 1. Now it's Mongrel's turn to do the same. The new pickup for FaZe Clan looking to clutch on up. He's putting shots down range. I believe it's Mega, one of his teammates on FaZe, who's on the other side of that medal, and he's not relenting with this pressure. Both of these duos actually in our top 10 right now. The new zone pops on up, and this is a full moving zone. Did he get the elim? He did! Mongrel with the elimination onto Mega. Just single-handedly took down Dubs and Mega.
I don't know if you saw that when the elim popped up on his screen. The eyebrows raised just a little bit. He may have even been surprised that he picked that one off. That's a huge point for that duo.
Absolutely within arm's reach of making this happen. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the final moments of the Fortnite World Cup Duos competition. Who will take home $3 million and the title of Fortnite World Champion? Mongrel trying to put his name into the hat. 3 eliminations so far. Storm Surge has begun, but they're far and away above it. He uses his last Shadow Bomb, though, Dr. Lupo.
Over 1,000 damage above, but yeah, that last mobility piece, that might be a mistake we'll have to see here in a second. The move so far, though, maybe that was his only choice to stay in this. Look at you, the left side of your screen right now, folks, is insanity. So many players making their way across in even the same structures built by their opponents. 36 total players. We're at 23 duos remaining. 8 more duos need to go down before we get to the placement points. And with how close first, second, third, all those placements are to each other, every single point is going to matter coming down to the last moments here.
Sap all by himself now. You see Aqua weak, Nyrox weak. Players dropping another shockwave, using it all the way ahead of the zone. It could be a game-saving play on the bottom right of your screen. Aqua's all by himself. Mongrel now 1 shot. This could be the end. No, no! He gets 50 health. Mongrel gets 50 health. He'll live to see another day as the zone doesn't take him yet. Can the young god make it happen? No! The player turns and rips him in 2 as he does drop out there. They will not finish atop our leaderboard.
C'est le bordel là, vous avez vu le bordel quand même. Il y a mon petit partout.
Nate Hill takes him out, and we're
C'est la
down
folie.
to 22
La folie.
players left.
We're down to the top 15.
Everybody's just picked up placement points for the leaderboard standing, which is key. Everybody on the board right now still in huge contention. Landjock goes down to the top. Chapix and Epic Whale have the ultimate high ground on every player that's left in the match. Nate Hill flying just barely outside of the storm. He will contend. He does go down right there. Rojo, multiple players still in Ballers. The Rocket, an attempt to break Rojo's the Baller RPG, rotates away from it. Look at the top left of the screen though, Jack.
Only 1 duo left. Epic Whale on the high ground all by himself. Cease and Elevate. The last duo alive in this game can still make something happen. They were in a very similar situation earlier on. Shots still coming out through. Aqua with 1, but he goes down. We'll have to see where they end up as we look to crown our champions. 8 players remaining. 7 different squads. Again, the only duo still left. Cease and Elevate. They're currently at 4 total eliminations. Rojo on the bottom right of your screen. The left side, the full lobby left. Arkram still in this 4ZR as well. Keenstar with so little HP. Can't take a bit of storm damage. Cease goes down. Elevate with an elim. Epic Whale raining down shots. Rojo trying to panic build in these last moments. 6 players left in this game.
Still a full duo though. There we go. Elevate goes down. Cease eliminated as
Rappelle
well.
lui qu'il y a des joueurs français encore je crois qu'ils sont là en plus.
These are the final
Donc
moments
est-ce
of
que
the
ils
competition
vont
for the
pas, je sais
Fortnite
pas.
World Cup. We have 4 players remaining with Arkram.
Ouh là là, je me suis dit lui va être mal, bah il est mal.
Rojo sucks. He has to build up. Still in the safe zone. A quick 180.
Vas-y, on fait Emma à très mal en plus. Tu vas mourir dans la zone mec, tu vas mourir dans la zone, tu vas mourir dans la zone. Oh là.
Arkram versus the player up top. There's just no way. There's just no way.
Du jeu comme à lui.
Six
Parce que,
elims, but 4ZR.
bravo, bravo.
In the end, we'll take the final game with the victory royale. 10 placement points earned. What a performance in the final moments right there.
Alors je pense que c'est un allemand et l'autre un asiatique je crois. Un coréen peut-être, bravo. Mais GG à eux, GG, bravo.
Here are the last moments again. I mean, there's just no way, Dr. Lupo. 4ZR health advantage in the zone. Arkram did what he could. Still a beautiful performance at 16 eliminations, or 6 eliminations, sorry, and second place in that one. But either way, folks, we'll see exactly how it all plays on out here. There's the replay. My gosh, Dr. Lupo, my heart is racing right now. I can barely put a thought together, I'm not gonna lie.
A valiant effort from Arkram right at the end there to try and hold out the campfire down, but not enough materials and the shots from above from 4ZR. Like you said, material advantage, HP advantage, every advantage in the world. It was his game to win.
Yeah, and I'm looking around right now, a lot of people on their feet here in this venue for where we will soon find out who will be crowned the first ever Fortnite World Champ, who will have their lives changed forever as they win $3 million combined between the two. Millions watching online. Send right now, tweet out who you think took it home. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, get it trending. Who do you think won? I think we've got an idea, but I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything until the official leaderboards come out, or else I will be kicked off this stage and never allowed back.
Security will actually spear tackle it.
Yeah.
It's true. They told me before we got up here.
Look, an immovable object. As now we still await the final scores. Dr. Lupo looking back on today with solo competition still to happen tomorrow. What are your big takeaways from the games we saw?
I think we saw upsets and for some teams that a lot of people had talked about were going to go above and beyond gameplay that they had seen before. That being said, there was a lot of confidence, and you love to see that, especially from every player on the stage right now. 100 of the best players in duos that we have ever seen. They have to realize that they beat every other challenger to get here, Chad.
There's an energy in this room right now. I'm just looking around. Everyone has their cameras ready for when the announcement comes. Again, we're tallying every little bit so we know exactly who won it. Ladies and gentlemen, do you guys want to hear who will be the first ever Fortnite World Champions?